if you are using cracked plugins, have some fucking respect for your industry and buy the legitimate versions.
Yeah, it's a good time to buy it.
Today on the Working Audio Tools podcast, we're going to be discussing 2 words you probably freaking hate by now. I'll get to those 2 words in a minute and create some suspense. But I'm just going to dive in. Black Friday, right? There you go. Everyone's sick of it. I have never unsubscribed to more emails more than in this month in my life. But what we wanted to just have a chat about was, we're not trying to sell anything in this episode. We're not trying to push any brands. Do we need Black Friday? There's FOMO. Do we need plugins? We've always talked about that. But we want to put a slightly different spin on the conversation and really just discuss and explore what it is that drives that kind of stuff. Do we need it? But we also, do want to hear from you guys what you're thinking of buying and what you think you might need, and put some ideas in the comments for wicked deals you've found for other people. Let's use it as an opportunity to help other people find good things. There's 1 or 2 that I think are pretty essential purchases at this time of year if you haven't bought them already. Can you guess what they are, Paul?
No, mine's blank.
Okay, so FabFilter only do a 25% sale at Black Friday. Now, they are still quite expensive. Their total bundle is $789 all year round, and it's £591. This is including VAT for Black Friday. And I was looking through that, and we were discussing earlier, do we need this? And I was looking through this particular bundle, and actually, Pro Q4, Pro R2, the reverb. I don't really use L2. I use others. The compressor, C2 I use, MB, the multi-band compressor, the de-esser, I don't use the gate, and Saturn. So I use 7 of those plugins in my template in every mix. So for me, if I didn't already own them, that would be a no-brainer. And I do own these plugins. The FabFilter do not give plugins to YouTubers except Dan Worrell.
Yeah, I know.
Even he had to pay for them, I reckon.
I know, that's super tight, isn't it?
He might listen. He commented the other week, didn't he?
Yeah, he
and
did.
We were like, fucking hell, he actually listens to the podcast. Wow. Okay. So Dan, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, I think Black Friday is always a bit of a difficult time. It could be an exciting time, but I'd say a difficult time because this is the time of year where I see people getting in a tiz, and it's almost like it's anxiety of missing out and I've got to buy something. And that's what scares me a little bit, is when it gets to Black Friday, it's almost as if I don't need anything, I should buy something because I can get a good deal. And it's like people are more focused on getting a deal on something that they don't really need just because people like to buy stuff. And, we are in a very big world of consumerism when it comes to audio. There's sales all year round. And that's something that I want to ask you, Ed, that I was sitting there thinking today, is that with the amount of sales that are on all the time, any time of the year, you'll find a sale somewhere. And I think a lot of the Black Friday deals aren't as good. Okay, you get FabFilter and stuff like that never go on sale. But with all the sales that go on all year round, is it actually worth waiting to this one point of the year? I mean, what are you saving? Are you saving a $5, a $10? What? And I get scared for people because I speak to so many people and they'll say, yeah, I just came for this guitar plugin because I think Neural DSP's got 50% off or something. So it's like, I came for this one guitar plugin, this amp sim, and then I seen someone else and I bought that, and before that I bought that as well, and then I seen that and I seen that, and your £200 budget is then just jump up to £500, and you've ended up spending more money than you were meant to and bought stuff that you didn't really need because you seen a deal and you felt like you were missing out. So, I mean, do you really think that Black Friday is as good as what people think it is?
For me, it's tempting to get into slightly murky territory questioning the value of these products. Now, you've got the retailers, I won't name some, but for hardware and plugins, and more hardware, I think, are guilty of this. Their year-round prices are, say, A. Their pre-Black Friday prices are B, and then their Black Friday prices are C.
Mm-hmm.
And A is what you can normally buy stuff, and then B will be a little bit higher because that'll make the difference, the percentage sale even better that they can advertise. It's not. People are advertising what they actually sell stuff for, which is usually below retail price. But when it suits them to demonstrate a high percentage, they quote the retail price that they're not selling at anyway. And then it makes it look like it's, 20% off or whatever, 50% off. There's one company that annoy me, not just at Black Friday, but throughout the year, because and it's probably not the software company you're thinking of, but there is a hardware company who constantly offer sales. And to me, it completely cheapens and devalues their product to the point where no one's ever going to pay full price for one of their products because every other month there's a 50% off excuse for a sale. So that for me is a great example of a company, unfortunately, cheapening themselves and ruining the reputation that they have, which otherwise for their products is exceptional. But they're just devaluing what they're doing by overdoing it. That's one side. I think I respect FabFilter for they might have other sales. I don't remember it. I seem to associate them with only doing Black Friday sales, and I've never seen a sale more than 25%. There might be some educational discounts above that, but don't quote me on that. And I respect that because they are so confident in what they're delivering. Fantastic. I think, and they are delivering industry-leading products. There's obviously the software company that we all know and love and hate who have a sale on all year round. Their current sale is actually pretty spectacular. They're offering 2 plugins for $50. However, as we know, you don't own them because in a year's time you'll have to update them.
You're saying waves, so I'll just fucking say it for you, right? Waves are synonymous for doing like fucking plugins all year round, like, $25 or whatever. Like if you're patient and you just wait, like you could be in October and then in November, the deals will come around and you'll get the plugin you want for like 25 quid.
Yeah. So so it's a bit better for Black Friday because normally you can get a plugin for $29 and now there's 2 for $49.99.
Yeah.
But that might be plus taxes. A lot of you have to be careful with these because a lot of these sales are not quoting tax. That is something to bear in mind. I got caught out on that buying, shall I mention them? Silencer. I bought Silencer, the Drumgate, because anyone who follows me on Instagram will see that I was blown away by it. And I've been A-Bing between that and Sonox Drumgate and mixers. I can't decide which one I prefer, but like all good tools, they have a use that's right for them. And their price was great. Oh, this is an amazing Black Friday sales price. Oh, no, wait, plus tax. It's not then that attractive.
Yeah, I know. And I think another thing that I want to kind of bring to the table was when I see a lot of these deals, again, this is only because like I do always look at the second-hand market. Like if you think about like Make Noise Pro Audio, like all year round, you can get really high quality, second-hand gear.
Sam's offering stuff on sale all year round.
Yeah, totally. Because again, it's always, second-hand. So I always...
I can hear him messaging me now. Ed, you're a Sorry, I'll beat that out.
But at the end of the day, it's true. I mean, the second-hand market is always going to be, cheaper than most Black Friday sales, but it should be. It should be. So again, for me, I kind of look at the Black Friday stuff and I go, okay, would I rather have something new? Yes. But is it like close to the second-hand market price? Normally, it's still not. And again, as you were talking about, companies, kind of having an ABC price, Hyphaman have really annoyed me because I went on the website and again I am a Hyphaman
calling out one of your own there.
I know, but again I'm transparent. But I was looking at their prices and it was like Sindara 500 and odd quid down to like £178, and I'm like, wait, hold on, Sindara is like 220 quid any other time of the year if you go on other distributors. And I think the distributors are the people that kind of shaft them a little bit because they choose, obviously there's an RRP price and then the distributors are all fighting against each other, to obviously like they're scrimping their margins to, get in front of other people and sell at the same price. So I think the market is in a place where everybody's fighting and, trying to, get in front of the next person, where I think the prices are already good. And I think Black Friday's got to a point where it is very difficult for many manufacturers to offer really good deals without, manipulating the RRP price that never ever exists, maybe like 4 points of the year.
I mean, Hyphaman are one that they can sell direct, so their sales on their website could be indicative of heavier discounts. But I agree, I think the Nanos was the example you used when they're like 500 and something quid, advertised as what their normal price is, but they're not. They're always like 389 or something on Thomann.
Yeah.
However, they are a good price at the moment. I think 289. If you're not on the Nanos, that's a recommended purchase for sure. But I will pull you up on something you said, which was that the prices are already good. I think there's two sides to that. In terms of hardware, I don't think prices are going to be as low as they are on any product moving forward. I think everything is just getting more expensive. Like I bought a sidecar off Thomann 2 or 3 years ago for £190 or something. It's £300 on Thomann now because Ukraine doesn't have any birch left because it's all been destroyed in the war and they're not exporting any. So birch has gone. Cost of European birch has gone through the roof. So things like that are pushing prices up. Cabling, I've noticed, is 25% more expensive than maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Some things will come down, but I think we've surpassed the pinnacle of technology where technology is going to be the driving force that reduces the price of things. I think we've had that wave and we've come out the other end and things are now just going to keep creeping up as everything, labor, taxes, tariffs, fuel, everything's going to keep getting expensive, which is one reason why I took the opportunity to buy the PSI Arvas when I got a good quote from Paul Mortimer at Emerging UK, which wasn't a Black Friday related sale. Damn, maybe I should have waited until they did a Black Friday. No, on that level, which brings me to another point. Companies like that don't do Black Friday sales. Like the price is the price. They'll give you an industry price or or they won't. So I bought those because I thought, you know what, they're never going to be this price again. I've had that mentality with a lot of the analog gear. It's never going to be this cheap again. So whether things are good prices or not is debatable. I think some things are expensive. Now, Wes Audio are an interesting one for me because they're doing a 15% sale at the moment, which on the 500 series gear makes it quite competitive prices. On the mastering grade stuff, you're still talking 2, 3, 4 grand for a unit. So 15% makes a dent, but you're still talking mega money. If you're putting that kind of money down, I don't think you're going to be waiting until Black Friday. You're just going to buy it when you need to buy it. But my point I'm getting at is, are things good prices enough? Can we justify $189 for Soothe and Spiff?
Yeah, I think I was looking at that because many people wait until OX and do a deal, and again they're kind of like FabFilter where they only do it at very specific points of the year. I use Soothe and Spiff and nearly every mix, definitely Soothe. But yeah, it's a difficult one because there's a lot, and especially now there's a lot of different competitors, and I think that's kind of what I was maybe not saying well enough in my description about prices are good enough. I think really to kind of dive more into that, I think what I mean is that there's so many options now, is that there are so many cheaper alternatives to so many things now. So where you have Soothe, which is still for me the best at what it does, you still do have Smooth Operator. I suppose at a certain point you could maybe say Rezo from Master in the Mix. And again, if you think about kind of everything now, especially in the hardware world, there's so many clones out there now that it's like they're all cutting their throats. You know what I mean? It's like you've got the really, really expensive stuff like the originals, and then you've got all these different hardware clones now. If you think about a 76, I mean, like you can go, I know Clark Technic is shit, right? But you could go really, really low down. I mean, I remember I had the Lindell 1073. Ooh. No, not 1073, the 1176 500 series, and that was brutal. Like, that was cheap. Like, that was not great. But if you still want a kind of certain flavour, again, 1073, I mean, you've got all the DIY clones, you've got, Golden Age and blah, 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 and loads of other clones out there. So, I mean, I think there is good prices out there. I do get what you're saying, that prices are going up due to, like, the economic climate. But if you think about where the market was 5, maybe especially 10 years ago, I mean, we are in a much, much better place where I think back then a lot of the brands could justify these huge, huge price tags. Again, you talked about SSL last week and about kind of how they screwed over everybody by just completely undercutting a lot of their prices on a lot of their hardware and stuff. And I just don't know. I kind of feel that there is a deal to be had all year round, and I just don't know why everybody kind of seems to put all their eggs in one basket and wait till Black Friday when, and you make a good point about big purchases, because you are absolutely right. When it comes to big purchases, like really big ones, like speakers, or amps, for example. God, I mean, we got the price that Alcon's this week. Fuck me, I didn't know an amp could be that expensive. Cheesy peeps. Fucking hell, man. The amp's more expensive than the fucking 5-inch speaker. Think about the Avis, for example, that Ed's just bought. Things could really, really creep up. And, margins are tight. Some margins are bigger than others. But a lot of the times, if you're away to spend big money, you normally will find a rep. You will find somebody you're going to be able to do a bit of a deal on. You know what I mean? Again, it isn't for everybody. It helps when you're in the industry. A lot of people that have reps for certain companies, and again, they will say, look, I'll buy cash straight out. What's the best deal you're going to do for me? But I would say in terms of Black Friday, if there is something that you 100% need and you've been saving up, and you can make a considerable saving, like it could be, instead of, waiting for a sale in a year and maybe saving £200, £300, if you could save £300, £500, then yeah, that's still £200 in your back hipper. And that's like a good time to do it. But what I've personally been seeing, and again, maybe I've not looked hard enough, is that those savings for me aren't what I'm seeing just now. I'm seeing savings of maybe 30 quid, 40 quid. You know what I mean? Okay, 30, 40 quid is 30, 40 quid, but at a point where the margins are already so low and the market is so full of so many distributors all trying to cut their own throats that, the margins are so low already that something like Black Friday isn't really as good a deal as what it might have been maybe 5-6 years ago. What do you think?
Yeah, this year's definitely, in terms of hardware, definitely the lowest percentage sale prices I've seen in a long time. I think, as you said, the margins are so diminished already. People, retailers and distributors have had to lower their prices just because spending power's down. People's disposable income is down because of the mortgage crisis, COVID, and then the mortgage crisis, and then the cost of living crisis that we've had. A lot of brands are struggling. And, I think one company who have faced that head on to a lot of criticism online, given how expensive their plugins used to be, but how suspiciously valuable they are, like value for money they are now, is Universal Audio. Back in the day when they had the monopoly with the DSP on, heavy processing off-site, off your computer, they were absolutely caning it in.
Yep.
But the plugins sound great, and they still sound great. The beauty of those is they still stand up against all the other plugins. In A/B tests, they still stand up. They're still fantastic plugins. And the native ones are identical to the UAD2 plugins, for those asking. They are literally identical. And I've actually found myself moving to the native plugins in my sessions because just the round trip onto the Apollos to do the processing is causing delay compensation in Pro Tools. Not that it's insurmountable amounts, but it's every little helps. So I'm going to the native ones, and they sound just as good, and they are good. The best prices they've been. UAD are doing a good sale at the moment. If you're interested in that, I think there's key plugins. Like if you want to take this job seriously as a mix engineer, personally, I think the Fab Filter bundle is essential. You're going to get it in sessions from other people. The tools are industry standard for a reason. Yeah, there's some great sonable stuff on sale at the moment that could be useful. I use those for different things. And if you have particular UAD stuff, like I've been using the API Vision channel strip this week. Fucking excellent plugin. Excellent. It's got your 550B EQ in, the compressor, you can drive the preamp. I've been using that on a few things, and that sounds great. I nearly fell into buying a whole bunch of stuff, Paul, this year, I have to admit. There was a little bit of FOMO, and I didn't like it. I nearly bought the Sound Toys bundle because a client had sent me a session with 2 of their plugins in, and I didn't have them. And I was like, everyone's got Sound Toys. Why don't I have Sound Toys? I'll wait till the Black Friday sale, and now I'm just like, fuck, it's 2 plugins. It's like a saturator and something else. I'll just use another plugin. You don't need any of this, the reality is, besides some preamp modeling, if you're into that, and some side chain based stuff, most DAWs will have everything you need.
Yeah.
Now, there are some fancy, plugins like Fuser is a good one. The Sonable Smart EQ, when it'll talk to each other and talk to other instances. I think plugins that talk to other instances go beyond what a DAW can do at the moment. Those are maybe worth getting hold of. Again, all the FabFilter Pro Q4 stuff. The spectral plugins as well, I think, again, are beyond the capabilities of DAW stock plugins. Maybe they're worth getting, but you go through. I've got 4 delay plugins on my vocal delay thing. Like, do I need 4? I mean, they do 4 different things and they all sound different, but that's one example of, well, if you've got one, you don't need another one. DistroKid sponsors the Working Audio Tools podcast, and 30% off your first year subscription can be found in the podcast show notes and the YouTube video description. Hyperfollow is the easiest way to place all of your content in one single place, making finding all of your content super easy for your audience. Upload artwork for your release, edit the information, and apply links to all of the streaming platforms your music is going to be available, which of course on DistroKid is potentially all of them that exist now and even in the future. Add social media buttons so your audience can find you and your latest music video. Creating a beautiful landing page with a preview of your music is easy with Hyperfollow. Hyperfollow links can be created for all of your releases, and it enables you to create pre-save links for your audience to pre-order your music before it's released. This link is shareable on all of your platforms and a great way to promote your next release, only with DistroKid.
See, at the end of the day, right? I say it all the time to people who always, honestly, the amount of DMs I get all the time is like, Paul, should I buy this? Paul, should I buy this? Paul, this is on a sale. Should I buy it? What's your opinion on it? Please tell me, bro. It's getting worse with the headphone stuff. Like, I'm getting really fucking tired with the DMs because people, honestly, I feel like it's chat GPT. Paul, can I get your EQ? Paul, can I get your EQ? Paul, can I get your EQ? I'm like, fuck off. Like, I'm not a free fucking service. There's a Discord. Go fucking join the Discord. And it's frustrating for me where people just have this unbelievable sense of FOMO where they forget that they've not needed a certain tool, or especially plugins. They forget that they've not needed this plugin and they've gone a whole 2 years of professional mixing without this tool. And because it's on a deal, they think that they need it. Where all you've got to ask yourself is, did I need it in the past 8, 10, 15, 20 mixes that I did? No. Well, you don't fucking need it then. Like, if your mixes are going great and your translation's great, your clients are happy, don't try and fix what's not broken. You know what I mean? Don't buy something just because it's on a good deal. I think what I've noticed is, again, and I'll say it again, is that when I was looking at certain things, if I was looking for a new computer, I was like, right, this is maybe the time to upgrade my fucking PC to like a Mac Studio or something like that. And I was like,
they're never on sale.
That's what I found. To my own detriment, I was like, okay, let's see if I can get a good deal. Nope. It's like, fuck off. Like, I thought like Black Friday, and this is what Ed was saying, is that the big ticket items, those were the things that I used to see. You did get pretty good deals on big ticket items, but that's what I'm saying. The market is genuinely, there's so many distributors all fighting against each other. They're all just stripping their margin away from each other, where the prices are already as low kind of as it is going to be, and they're always doing sales to fight against each other. I just look at Black Friday and I go, there's nothing there that, in terms of the things that I need, that I'm not going to get a good enough deal. I'm just not going to get a good enough deal. And that's why, for me, I just look secondhand all the time. And, if I sell anything on eBay, it'll always sell. There's, so many people go looking for secondhand stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's a difficult place for plugins, especially because, and I'm not condoning it, I've never done it. And I'll say I've never done it. I've not done it in 13 years. But I think another big part of, the plugin being so cheap is that there are many people cracking plugins. Like, it is a bigger thing than what I thought it was. I thought this
was
like
that still a thing?
Oh mate, honestly, see when I done my video on Acoustica's thing, remember I was like they were bloating their plugins with anti-piracy stuff.
Yeah, like 5 gigabytes of anti-piracy
fucking ridiculous.
plugin or something.
Not as much as that, but it was ridiculous. But it was, for me, that's a thing where, especially on my Discord, there's a lot of people who, do that, and they're going to do what they're going to do. But it's a thing where, I get it with like hardware and stuff. Like you can't crack hardware, but with software, many people have went down that route. And yeah, I think things are already as cheap as it's going to get. Like there's for me, the audio industry is in a place where it doesn't take much for a sale to be on. There'll be like a Thanksgiving Day sale. It'll be an Easter holiday sale. There's fucking give them
New
a tiny
Year.
There's always
Summer
a
sale. Blah blah blah.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's like there is no such thing as Black Friday. Black Friday is like a 4-week event. It's like most of November,
now, isn't it?
Yeah. So like basically, I'll hark back to what I said last week. About making purchases, especially expensive ones. Is just sit and think about it. And it's as soon as you're like, oh, it's a good deal. Like just let Paul sit in your head the first time. I know it's scary to have Paul thinking of having Paul third in your head. Ed wouldn't want to have me in his head. Sometimes he does have me in his head, just on his shoulder, sitting there whispering in his ear. But just sit there and think, do I really need this? Am I buying it because it's a good deal? Am I going to use it? Or am I just going to sit with it, stick it on 2 mixes and never use it again? The amount of things that I've got, I've got for free, some things that I've bought, and I sit there and go, I was really excited when I first got that. And then it's like that I don't know, there must be a terminology for it. That thing where it's like you get dead excited for something and it builds up and then then you're waiting on it getting delivered and you're checking the tracking and the day comes and you open the box and you get it. And as soon as you've got it in your hands, it's like all the excitement is just stripped from you. And it's like, I'm not as excited as I was. And then something else, and then you look for that dopamine. I think the audio industry is in such a place where we need so much dopamine because all our lives are shit. For most people, we just need constant dopamine. So it's like, I can get this and that, and I can get, 6 drum gates, and it's like, just look at your plugin list now, right, and ask yourself, there's a reverb on sale. Many reverbs have you got? I've got 8. You have enough reverbs. There's a new delay that's came on. Right, it's a tape delay though. Right, have you got tape delays? I've got 3 of them already. You don't need a fucking tape delay. If you are going to buy something, is it something that you don't have already, that you can't already replicate? Again, you know what I'm like with a plugin doctor and shit. Like, if I can replicate a plugin, I'll replicate it. Do you really need it? Like, I get it. Some people might be like, no, what? Some people just enjoy, getting a deal and they're like, I'll spend £100 and get a few things, but just don't waste your money. You know what I mean? If you don't need it, don't buy it.
I've got another 2 scenarios for you.
Cool.
One is buying plugins to move away from a subscription model. For example, if you're paying £30 a month to a company, but you're only using 2 or 3 of the plugins, use Black Friday to buy those 3 plugins and cancel your subscription.
Great point. That's a really good point.
Thank you. Also, if you are using cracked plugins, have some fucking respect for your industry and buy the legitimate versions.
Yeah, it's a good time to buy it.
DistroKid hosts a range of visually engaging social media promotion tools to help your release stand out from the crowd. Creative and colourful social media cards incorporate your artwork to help your release stand out. These are free to download and can be highly effective promoting your release. DistroKid also offer mini videos, which are free, short, customizable videos incorporating your artwork and a short clip of your track. And if this wasn't enough, DistroKid also have a tool to create a Spotify canvas generator, which is the video that plays in the background when you're playing a song on Spotify. Simply choose a theme and choose from dozens of different creative artwork concepts. These are free to use and great for engaging your audience, available on DistroKid. For an additional subscription of $8.25 a month, you can get your music videos distributed to Apple Music, Vivo, and Tidal, and you'll keep 100% of your royalties. With DistroVid from DistroKid.
At the end of the day, right, there's no excuse to pay full whack for a plugin these days. There just isn't. Like, as we said about Waves and so many other places, there's always sales all year round. There's just no need.
Paul shooting developers.
But look, I think Ed has been the good birdie on my shoulder there, because again, it's very good to have that objective mindset where there are going to be cases where, if you do know that, you're paying a subscription and you're like, I only really need those 3 plugins, and, they're at a good deal and there's a bundle going on and I can justify that, then yeah, because you're going to be saving yourself money in the long run, because again, you might be paying that subscription for 2 years at like 15 quid a month, when again, you could, pay 90 quid or whatever and get the full bundle and save yourself money. But there'll be another time of the year when you could probably get that bundle for close to the same price. So yeah, just always think about your purchasing decisions and just make good ones. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. At the end of the day, Black Friday, isn't a big thing for me. It's not something, I never ever see a deal that really, really takes my fancy, takes my eye, probably because I'm Paul Third. When it comes to plugins, I can get whatever I want, really, if I really wanted a plugin. But, I don't know, there's just nothing, Ed, that kind of took my fancy this year. But, if you have found a great deal, like Ed said at the start of the episode, then feel free, to leave a good deal down below. Tell us what you're thinking about purchasing. And yeah, if you can get a good deal on something and something that I've not seen or Ed's not seen, which is very, very possible, then leave it down below. Everybody will be sitting there going, Paul Third, fuck, he's just a depressing piece of shit these days, isn't he? He's always pissing on everybody's fun, isn't he? Well, yes, I'm on antidepressants now, so I might be getting better. I might not be as miserable as I always am. And just are
you going public with that knowledge?
Yes, I am. There's no shame. Again, in a video that I'm awaiting release.
No.
There's a video.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there's a video I'm waiting to release that I mention at the very end. Yes, it's going to be something that I'm going to mention quite a lot, because I always think we should be quite, your business is your business, but there's no shame in going through a tough time, because everybody's going through a really tough time. And again, if you are a bit depressed and, buying a plugin or spending a bit of money is going to make you feel a bit happy, just remember that it is going to be short-lived, right? All of this stuff is dopamine, and there is no piece of gear, there is no plugin that is going to make you happy at the end of the day. It's all short-lived. And just look after yourselves, right? As always, right? We do genuinely value our audience, and we always do want to look out for you, and we always want to make sure that you're making the right decisions and doing the right things.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Let us know what you're buying, if and why, and what deals you've found. Tyrone, we know you're a good sniffer of good deals. Follow that guy on Instagram. He'll be spamming all the
like a
good deals he's found.
Like a bloodhound on Black Friday.
Lots of love, mate. Yeah, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
It's not even been emotional. Well, actually, Paul's news was.
Yeah.